very early.
You know the feeling.
It's not
Yeah,
not the group. They did manage to go through the tiebreakers, and they showed up versus Gambit. They showed up really where it mattered the most, and that for just hop on the IO wagon.
Yeah, the IO, the Puck, the probably two most successful heroes. I mean, Puck picked or banned in every game with a 70% win rate. IO winning every single game it was played as a carry.
Yep.
And I think the other big trend I noticed is the teamfight aspect. The Phoenixes unbeaten, just
Phoenix Puck
The two-
combos,
yeah,
Mars as well, yeah.
the two teams, Vici Gaming and LGD, just were winning games not off of the laning stage, but off of these big mid-game team fights.
Right, and you mentioned IO, and we do have a couple of teams in the group stage that were seeded directly into the group stage that play IO as a support. So maybe we'll see IO in a different role. But one of the things that we could probably be sure of is that we'll see a lot of picks and bans circling around that hero. Let's take a look at the hero. At the teams that we have in the group stage. We have Alliance, OB Neon, LGD, Quincy Crew, Team ASTER, Thunder Predator, Vici Gaming, and Team Liquid, who qualified through the tiebreaker.
Yep, we have an amazing set of teams, really. The wild card was stacked on its own, and then you get the three of those that are best from the wild card. You add them to the rest that already qualified straight to the group stage, and you're in for one hell of a group stage for these next 2 days.
And now we have all 6 regions being represented. This is where it's going to be, we've been hyping up the fact it's been over a year since we've had that cross-region play. The wildcard, we got a taste of it with the Europe CIS teams against the Chinese teams, but now we get NA and SA coming to the mix as well. So it's going to be, I think the meta is going to be completely different here. Some of the stuff from the wild cards is going to carry over, but I also think we're going to see a totally new style of play, particularly from Thunder Predator and Quincy Crew.
Yeah, not only do we have new teams coming in, but we have, we had 6 teams before for wildcard. Now we have 8 teams for group stage, and with extra teams come extra matches. Let's take a look at the schedule for today. On this stream, the main stream, we have Alliance and Team ASTER coming up first, Quincy Crew and OB Neon next. And with Shiver and the crew, we'll have Team Liquid versus Quincy Crew, OB Neon versus Team ASTER. And closing out the day will be Vici Gaming versus Alliance. What matches are you excited for
There's
today?
just so many good matches here. Sadly, obviously, many teams are plagued by the stand-in effect because of the situation that was, in the world, or some different things that were a little bit unpredictable, but we'll see. All of these matches are really insane. The Alliance's matches for me are the ones to really look out for when it comes to the quality of Dota. Quincy Crew as well, representing NA, will be very interesting for a lot of our viewers, but for me, Alliance, ASTER, the opening match is pretty good, and I believe they play
Vici Gaming.
They play Vici Gaming at the end as well, so that's really going to show how Europe matches up versus China.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think a lot of the talk is, always about which is the strongest region, how many slots each region has, and I think the 2 regions that are consistently talked about at the top is Europe and China. I think the last few years Europe has had China's number, particularly at the international, but it does really feel like now the Chinese teams are looking stronger than ever.
Well, we don't only have those matches today, we have a whole bunch of matches going on. We have 3 streams today, everyone. Open up those tabs because on One Esports _2 and One Esports _3, we have 10 sets going on there. So make sure to catch all the Dota, watch all of it across all 3 streams.
Yeah, pretty much every region will match up against each other. You can see SCA versus China, in PSG LGD versus OB Neon. You have as well Vici Gaming versus Quincy Crew for some NA versus CN action.
Yep. And we get some of the rematches because the teams you played in the wild card are going to have to play each other again in the group stage. So it's going to be interesting to see, what Team Liquid learn from some of their losses, whether they're going to be able to bounce back today or not. So very curious to see how those wildcard teams perform, because if anything, they may perform better because they've warmed up a bit. I think some of the group stage teams coming in have just had a little bit less time to kind of get their footing, maybe get used to the travel, the jet lag, and also just play some Dota. The more you play, the more warmed up you're going to be and the better you're going to play.
Well, while our wildcard teams are already warmed up, let's take a look at Alliance versus ASTER, who are both, this is their start to land Dota in a year, over a year.
Yep. So actually, Chinese teams did play a LAN. Like they were all on the LAN for the DPC season. It was the only LAN that we had in a really long time. But obviously they didn't have viewers and whatnot, and obviously it wasn't cross-regional. It was only Chinese. So first international LAN for them. But going to be very, very interesting because ASTER, they were pretty much top of the Chinese league. They were looking really, really strong. However, because of some reasons, they will not have this Sir playing with them. Borax is unavailable. Lanham will be playing, and Mad, who's their coach, will be standing in for Borax.
Yeah, and we've seen what that stand-in factor can do. It, completely crippled Team Nigma in the wild cards. I think it really puts them at a heavy disadvantage, not just in this series, but in the entire group stage. Fortunately, 7 of the 8 teams still advanced to the playoffs, but it does kind of not bode well for them, as far as their results.
One good thing is their coach used to be a support. Enigma had a different story, right? Enigma with their stand-in, he wasn't an offlane player.
Right.
And it's very difficult to find the right synergy in your team when you don't have a certain position at all to be played. So it should be a little bit easier for Aster, but Boboka, who's currently in some sort of a lockdown, has had great impact during the DPC league. Unfortunately for them, he was one of those really important gears. So.
Right, but in comparison to that, Alliance actually, they don't have a stand-in. They have the full roster for this event. So do you think that will affect the gameplay overall? Do you think that maybe Alliance will change?
This team has just been a staple at the top of the European region for a while, and to me, they've been the clear number 2 after Secret overall for the past year or so.
Very similar situation with Aster too. They had some of these online leagues as well, like FDC. However, usually what the situation is with the top teams from the Chinese DPC league is they're not taking these other leagues that seriously. They're practicing different drafts, trying out stuff, so you can be fooled a little bit by the quantity of that data that goes your way. It doesn't have to all be accurate. Yeah. But I think Alliance obviously has inherent advantage because they're not playing versus a full roster. And Boboka is one of those guys that when you're playing against him, you don't truly know what he's going to play. They can pick some core like a Monkey King, and it can end up on a position 4. So it gives them also this relief that they don't have to worry about flex picks.
All right, well, Alliance is definitely known for playing a lot of diverse heroes, so we'll see how that goes in the draft. But let's take a look at the position 3 comparison.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, these two guys are pretty much the leading forces of these two teams. XSS on one side, S4 on the other. S4, he's had a very, very difficult start. Or let's not say start, resurgence into his pro career, right? Yeah. It wasn't all clicking with Alliance, but in the DPC league and throughout this year at least, he's been looking his old self. It's all clicking.
Yeah, I think definitely a lot of the kind of controversial way he was brought into Alliance has been shut down because of Alliance's results over the last 6 months and the noticeable improvement. They just keep seeming to get better, and S4 as an offlaner has improved so much, I think. Like, he was at times a weak link on EG, but now he's looking like a star on this Alliance team.
And damn, we have already 4 picks in.
Yep.
Yeah, Aster started off. I was going to talk about this, but all right. They started off. Yeah, they just banned out FNG's Kotl, which is something that most teams ban out versus Alliance. And then Alchemist, it's not banned out versus Alliance, but mostly because they just recently started playing it in the DPC league on that offlane position. Sometimes mid, but offlane S4 did wonders. But when you ban out these 2 heroes, obviously Io is in the pool. And in Europe, there's this big love for Io plus Weaver. Yeah. In other regions, not as much, but Io plus Weaver is very, very popular in Europe. In Chinese region, perhaps eHome would start the draft such like this way, Io plus Weaver, and then they would relegate Weaver on the offlane and play Io as a core or even maybe as a 4, but most likely Hanskin Io.
And I think perhaps, we're already seeing a big shift in meta. Puck has gone ignored for at least this first phase. I don't think it's going to stay ignored because both teams don't have a mid laner picked up just yet. So we'll probably see it banned out or picked up 3rd, 4th. But That's been like
Radiant
must
team
first pick,
ban.
must first ban up until now.
And with the DK ban, this is, and Void Spirit now, this is a puck 100% banned or
team
picked
ban.
for one of these two
Yeah.
teams. Now, Alliance has to be careful because if they do snatch that puck, Team Aster loves to play TA, and it's one of those rare teams that actually makes TA work. White Album can just solo carry
10
games with a
seconds
hero
remaining.
that also counters puck in the mid lane,
Yeah.
so it can be...
Can you explain that for me?
5
Because
seconds remaining.
we've seen a lot of puck throughout the series so far, but I haven't seen TA at all.
Yeah.
How
So-
does TA work versus puck?
The problem is, you do dominate, you pretty much
Radiant
crush
team
puck in the
ban.
laning stage. However, the hero is very greedy coming from a mid laner because it needs a lot. She needs a lot of space. She usually just farms that Blink Dagger, perhaps even Dazo before she's ready to fight.
Yeah. It's a very different way of playing the mid lane. It's kind of similar to the Shadow Fiend, which we've seen not be too successful because it's this
10
carry
seconds
style
remaining.
hero in the mid lane, whereas most mid laners typically are about making plays move around the
5
map,
seconds
being more the
remaining.
ganker style of hero.
And Echo Baby just made me yawn.
This is the morning game. This is-
Wakey.
I mean, we've seen a lot of teams, you know, first games of the day look a little shaky. It was yesterday. It was Gambit who they got 2-0. Then they bounced back and won all their next games, but their first games of the day were rough.
Man, I can't blame them. I wake up at 4 in the morning and I just I can't fall back to sleep.
I do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I woke up at like maybe 4 o'clock
Yeah.
this morning.
Same. At some point I just get up, make myself coffee, sit on the balcony and stare into the distance. That's it. Like,
One of the questions I have is Kunkka ban from Alliance. Is that a ban based off of Team Aster? Because I haven't seen a lot of Kunkka throughout the last 2 days.
it's decent versus Io, right? And versus Weaver, it gives you reliable catch, but it's not something that
Radiant
Aster
team
loves
pick.
picking very often. So
Puck.
yeah, this was so very obvious.
Dire
Yeah.
team
That's like
It was
your-
like whichever team had the first pick coming out of these bans, it's like all the puck counters are getting banned.
Yeah, there's still
Um,
TA in the pool that
yeah.
you can snatch, and that Profit as well, right?
Yeah.
Something that you can.
10
And
seconds
TA is a
remaining.
limp hero. He's a very mechanically sound mid laner. I think that's where he shines, is using the
5
lane
seconds
stage.
remaining.
So.
Radiant
And he's
team
100% one of the reasons why, one of the big reasons why they're here where they are, as he's also rank 1, I believe, now in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh, wow.
very. MMR doesn't matter that much. I was rank 1 for God's sake, but he's
It definitely doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't
10
matter.
seconds
However,
remaining.
he's a mid laner, and
Yeah.
it is a confidence boost to be the best.
5
You know, to be
seconds
on the
remaining.
throne, to have that crown.
But look at that pick from Alliance, Earthshaker. We had a big conversation about Earthshaker yesterday.
Not a fan.
Really? I think it's been overly ignored though. Like, yeah, it got nerfed. I'm just surprised nobody's been
Dire team
picking it
pick.
at all though.
Not a fan
so you
at
think it
all.
should be
Yeah,
more?
I feel that hero is just dead.
He talked for like 5 minutes about how Earthshaker is so bad now and how no one ever picks him because he's that bad.
I also like playing Earthshaker, so
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about him being bad might make a certain frog buff him up a little bit. So
Well,
10
now we have
seconds
the first
remaining.
Earthshaker of the tournament, so maybe we'll see some good stuff.
You better hope
5
Alliance
seconds
lose then for all
remaining.
those Earthshaker buffs.
I already 7 picks in. I'm all into Aster. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just. This is.
It's
Monkey King.
Their combos is just so solid.
10
I really like
seconds
the Dead
remaining.
Prophet pick, and this hero for me is top tier
5
mid
seconds
laner.
remaining.
I think it deserves even to be picked or banned in the first stage. But still,
Radiant
it's good
team
enough to
ban.
counter all the teamfight potential from Team Aster. I don't think so.
Yeah, like I've still not been convinced by
Dire
this
team
IO Weaver
ban.
too. Like, yeah, it's been this go-to combo in the European region, but I would much prefer to be on the side that has the Mars Phoenix than the IO
And
Weaver.
this is very peculiar. You see that Alliance is banning out the SF, even though they have Puck. That's because Team Aster played Puck on multiple different roles. They played it on 4, they played
10
Puck
seconds
picking on 4,
remaining.
they played Monkey on offlane. XXS,
5 seconds
usually everyone
remaining.
talks about Baboka, Borax, because of different reasons. But this offlaner, he's very, very flexible as well.
Yeah.
So who can Team Aster and Team Alliance pick to really round out their team? Because they have 4 circles on Team Aster. Basically, to me, it looks like once they engage with like Mars Arena,
Radiant
they're just
team
gonna throw
ban.
everything down, right?
Yep.
What can they do to really round that out?
I think for Alliance, yeah, you've got okay teamfight yourself with the Shaker Death Prophet. You're probably just looking for what? I guess the Death Prophet can be flexible here.
Yeah.
Sure what they're looking for.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, when you're Alliance and you have this Shaker, okay, so
Dire team pick.
I've talked about how much I dislike the hero. However, he does open up your draft quite a bit, as you can pick heroes such as that Prophet on the offlane, and now you can have this pick for your mid laner. However, when you have second and last pick, it's a little bit better. You're not really
10 seconds
mind
remaining.
gaming Team Aster that hard here.
And it's hard because nothing's going to be like a
5
huge
seconds
surprise
remaining.
because Aster can still has that last pick in the draft. So if they want, they can pick a mid lane, which is what Alliance expect. They ban TA, they ban SF, or they can just send the Puck mid if they feel like Puck can go mid. So a lot of
Very
flexibility for
flexible.
Aster. Yeah.
Very flexible. Yeah.
Yeah, from Alliance, I want to see something that's not greedy at all, because you already have IO and Shaker. These two heroes are definitely on the greedier side when it comes to the supporting duo, right? So
Who is a non-greedy hero?
anything that does stuff with just the levels, that's on them to figure it out, because it's very flexible right now when it comes to Weaver, Shaker, and that Prophet. They can pretty much put them on, and IO as well. It can be a core.
They do. I could see them doing like a Storm mid potentially.
Brilliant team pick.
Beastmaster.
they're gonna go with the offlane.
That's probably the perfect way to go about it.
Choose your hero.
Enigma.
Instantly picked. They
Another
did not
circle.
care.
Yeah, that's a 5 Enigma, by the way.
Yeah.
100%. Lanum is going to play it. And why did they pick it? They picked it because you run up to that Beastmaster and you just use demonic conversion on one of his boars. So it makes his lane a lot more difficult.
And they just give a lot of golden XP, so that's gonna. I mean, they're gonna be able to secure that safe lane very easily. It feels like for the month. And then they're just gonna send Puck mid. I think Alliance were expecting them to pick those more carry style mids that White Album likes to play, but they just said he'll happily play Puck.
All right, well, let's hop right into predictions. I'm going to go first because yesterday I was going last every day. Definitely Team Aster. I like the way that they drafted. It's just a very all-in draft where they just go in.
Take the circle box. You know,
Yeah,
the circles.
they just stack all the
5
circles on top
seconds
of each
remaining.
other. So for me, it would be Team Aster.
So you're for
What about
Aster.
you, Lizard?
It's difficult to go against Aster and their draft. You'd have to be mad, but
The stand-in factor.
The stand-in factor.
I'm torn here.
yeah. And the
After
Lions
you
also
said-
have the IO and Wisp. I'm still going to. It's almost disrespect if you don't go with Alliance, I feel like. But because of the draft, I'm still going to lean Aster's favor just a little bit.
I'm going to go the other way. I think we've seen, for me, draft-wise, I slightly prefer Aster, but I just think Alliance coming in has looked so incredibly solid. They're playing with their full roster, and for Aster, it's just such a big hit missing a player and for such a key player.
Well, let's add 2 more opinions to that mix. Let's bring in OD Pixel and Lacoste. Guys, what do you think?
I'll go with Alliance. I like what they have. A lot of tower damage, a lot of roche taking potential. I don't think there's enough control for this Weaver. There's also Relocate Enigma picked into the Beastmaster. Just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah, I feel sort of overall the map movements that Alliance are going to be able to hit Aster with are just going to come too fast and furious all across the place with the Beastmaster, the maneuverability of this Weaver-IO duo. I think it's going to be a little too tricky for Aster to keep up with. But then I think Aster's going to lose some early objectives against Alliance.
Well, we'll see how that turns out. We're going to turn the game over to you guys. Good luck. Have fun. Let's start with game 1.
Prepare to battle.
Thank you very much, Simi. We should have a lot of fun with this one. Alliance versus Aster, 2 hot teams from each of their respective regions. I mean, coming in sort of outside of the draft, what do you expect from these squads? I mean, you're obviously following the Chinese region during the league. What have you come to see from Aster?
Super strong. Like this team was amazing. Unfortunately, Borax, aka Baboka, was not able to attend the major, so they have coach who is standing in, and not too much information about the coach, you know, not the player that has much international experience either, so I'm a bit worried how that's gonna go. Ready to see what happens, you know, might be pleasantly surprised.
Let's have a look. Let's see what he's able to pull off this game, Matt, as he steps in here for Aster.
30 seconds to battle.
Let's see if they are going to be able to deal with what is going to be just this incredible amount of push that Alliance will have once the 6 is up for Limp. They do have great team fight. Of course, Aster, they have this.
Oh, for sure.
Pretty much every single player here on the team is offering up a fantastic ultimate to throw into this fight. You know, if you come into this area where Alliance is trying to push, ASTER are going to have the control and ways to fight back when Alliance do start to group up.
Yeah, look at all those circles. Like, these are some of the best team fight abilities in the game.
Sort of the best.
It actually does not get better than this. You have Wukongs. This is like my favorite combo. Mars plus Wukong before they get the BKBs. Hold them inside the Wukong's command. You have Phoenix on top of that. Like, just a Midnight Pulse in any of these abilities is going to do a ton of damage.
Absolutely. Yeah. The team fight is going to be insane. It's going to be down to if Alliance can sort of play around those cooldowns when it comes to the mid game and try and sort of hit ASTER when they're not prepared to come in with the combos.
Like, even if they have 2 ultis on the cooldown, they can still take a fight against what Alliance.
They do have a lot, yeah.
This is an old school combo. Beastmaster, IO, easy scouting things with the Hawk. You use Roar, relocate 2 heroes. So, you know, standard stuff. A bit worried for the Earthshaker. Usually, FNG is the one who's, you know, playing 5. But he's playing Earthshaker now. Usually we don't see him, you know, being played these greedier position 5s. So they might like share the position 5 role by the sentries together, because like I would want Earthshaker to get some kind of farm in this game. Like eventually you will need to have a Blink Dagger.
I mean, definitely something that Alliance are very comfortable with. They do like to run it as such. Well, they seize the opportunity to get both the IO and the Shaker
Radiant's
through the
courier
draft.
was caught in the crossfire.
See what he gets done with it. Bottom lane S4. Just gonna sort of a hit here from the Eidolons. Actually, you're going to be able to turn, block Lanham off.
Yeah, budget Fisher against the real Fisher.
That's true. For now, at least. Now, at least in the late game, Mono is going to be able to pack a bit more punch. Top lane, Nico, baby. They're going to have it. As Matt, the stand-in, he's the one to claim first blood. Hanskin not quite able to keep Nico, baby, safe enough from the 2 of them there.
Good start for the coach.
Yeah.
At the GG in the old chat.
He's already put in the flag yet for Alliance to take. Some confidence indeed.
Definitely didn't expect the Nico baby to die there. Like, Weaver paired up with an IO.
Lane, right?
He should not die in that way, especially early on.
That's just good aggression from ASTER. And getting him close to the tower as well. Maybe Nico baby just feeling that he was safe enough to play as sort of as aggressive as he was on as low of HP that he had. Of course, that sentry's still down the lane. We'll see if Alliance are able to take that away. They do. Nico baby will be able to find that.
Don't mind me.
White Album playing extremely aggressive on the mid lane, almost behind the tier 1 tower, trying to deny some gold for Death Prophet so that she does not get the bottle. Here's the Spirit Siphon from Lim. Now, Death Prophet is the hero that does well against Puck. You know, some of the heroes really struggle against the constant harassment, but Death Prophet once she gets the bottle, the extra like sustain that you get, and there it is. Managed to pick it up, just needs to use the courier.
Some solid nukes to contest and push the lane back against the puck. Top, maybe he wants this Centaur. He will be able to get it there. Not quite able to stop Nico baby from taking a creep.
S4 decided to go for Wild Axes, as well as the Boar. He does not have enough mana to actually use all of these abilities. Like, I can understand why, you know, trying to use the Wild Axes, get a couple of Eidolons, but yeah, it's tough to sustain mana with the Beastman.
4-minute runes coming into play. The move
No
over
one from
FNG.
ASTER actually going for the rune, so yeah, FNG will be able to secure the rune. Might be forced to take it.
White Album heading over. Quite the chance for them to make a go for it. Started to have a bit of a poke onto S4 whilst FNG was away, but of course with that haste rune, FNG quickly able to return, and he's going to be able to find some couriers.
Radiant's courier was caught in the crossfire.
So he'll be able to take that away from Mono. Mid limb. Oh, White Album, he has to actually jump in over towards the tower as he had already used the orb before to allow Limp to chase him down the lane anymore.
ASTER doesn't really have the greatest 4 and 5 to actually rotate. But yeah, they're just outnumbering Beastmaster, the slow, Boundless Strike should do the trick.
I mean,
hit.
Yeah, they make it work. You know, Matt swings around to the bottom lane, and just having that extra bit of firepower, literally from the Phoenix, it's enough to get S4 out of the bottom. So already, I mean, 2 kills on the board. You got to say, you know, Matt stepping in, it's looking pretty good so far on the Phoenix.
Definitely. Mid, pretty even in terms of the CS. That Prophet will get level 6 after this, so will Puck. Like, I'm not sure if they can kill a dead Prophet, even if they decide to like rotate Phoenix. They might need to bring 3 heroes to kill the dead Prophet.
I mean, look at this FNG!
That was close.
Oh, that was... I mean, it was a heads-up move from Lanham to sort of have the persistency to keep chasing and look for that. So not quite able to close in with the Malefice before he TP's out.
And we can already see the power of position 5 Enigma, where he has a lot of denies. Look at Beastmaster CS, 14 CS. Beastmaster usually the hero that stays on the top, puts the pressure on the tower. Not the case here. And Monet is getting some solo XP on the bottom, going for the Battle Fury. Like, Chinese teams really love Battle Fury on the Monkey King.
Yeah, we didn't really get that at all in EU. The Battle Fury build-up was definitely straight away from, I feel, by most teams, but in China this was still very much
this
the
is
thing.
their go-to build most of the time. Sometimes they even go the most possible greedy route, you know, Battle Fury Agonism.
I mean, is that what you imagine in this game, or do you think Monet will go for Battle Fury into something that's going to enable?
He definitely needs I'm not even sure if he needs a BKB this game, because they have...
That's true, BKB doesn't do too much, right? It's just
really
the shaker, kind of. And everything else
is the physical damage, everything else goes through Magic Immunity,
endangered?
like Exorcism, Roar, so he might be just able to tank up. Yeah, I don't think he needs a BKB. Sounds like maybe stupid, but definitely doesn't need it as the first 3 items.
No, I think maybe later on, you know, it depends sort of how good of a game like FNG is going to start having. You know, if FNG does get those items at a quick timing, if he makes these moves, gets involved in kills, which hasn't been happening so far. You know, it really depends on how much you're scared of the Shaker just chain locking you down.
I saw Ahmed like getting BKB as 6th item on the Monkey King the other day, but it's just Ahmed thing, so.
Very close here, 7.5 minutes in. I mean, even with the 2 kills from ASTER, the gold remains very even. See Nico, baby. He's got the Maelstrom complete.
Dyer's
able to
top
find himself
tower
that
is under attack.
possessed mask.
That's a 7-8 minute Maelstrom. Not too bad.
That's not too bad. That's rather quick.
They also have a big stack that he can clear. Do they have any stack of Ancients? Yes, they do. Triple stack. It's easy to farm Ancients with Fever. With the Swarm, minus armor, they also focus it so you don't take any damage. And now he has enough sustained Possessed Mask. There we go. Look at that damage. Juicy.
That's just some solid farm for Nico, baby. And something that's not really going to get punished right now by ASTER. Not quite looking to make moves into the jungle. They do have, of course, the Dream Core ready to drop if White Album sees an opportunity to make a play mid. Does have Mad hanging around by the side, also Lanham. Lanham, of course, still focused on just cleaning up that bottom lane, soaking up the XP whilst Monet is headed over to the jungle. Doesn't want to play in the lane too much more now. 6 is online for S4, and there is that potential for plays to come in onto him.
This could be a bit problematic for ASTER, because like Phoenix doesn't like to make any moves. Enigma has a 5. Like, yeah, he's getting XP. Roar on the bottom. Could be an easy kill.
Yeah, look to take Lanham's life, and he'll get it. See the counterplay coming from ASTER. White Album comes in. He's going to drop the Dream Core down with the arena. There's no escape for S4.
Okay, a bit of an overkill, but they got him. That's what matters. Now they can start putting some pressure on the top lane. Not the most important tower, but they already saw people TPing, so they can... Like, if someone TPs, let's say Enigma, he's just straight up dead on the top. Relocate will be up soon. They can also clear the Ancients. It's only 1 stack, but it's better than nothing.
Radiant's
being
top
pinged out.
tower is under attack.
I'll be able to take that away without ASTER having any sort of chance of defending it. They're going to start moving over, but it's going to be a little too late. Majority is taken. No Dream Coil still. They'll try and make the jump onto Hamsken. Hamsken is going to get caught by the Malefice. He'll get taken out. They will punish Alliance in the sense that the IO goes down, but Nico Baby more than able to escape to safety.
This is kind of a start that you want to have when you have a stand-in, you know. Him having 0 deaths, involved in 3 out of 4 kills, doing pretty well. You know, just the boost of confidence.
Absolutely. I mean, and in terms of what he could do, I don't think he could have done more really in this first 10 minutes, Matt.
You can always do better.
I mean,
He could have been godlike, possibly.
Could have been godlike. 10 minutes on the support Phoenix. I mean, it happens.
In pubs.
Yeah. When it's against you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Beastmaster has another roar ready, plus a book. Getting very close to book 2. They don't have the catapult. So yeah, Team Master, they don't want to make any aggressive moves. Mars wants to play Dota, the rest of the team, you know, especially Monkey King just wants to hit some creeps. So with that Blade Dagger, they should be able to find a kill. If they can burst that Prophet. They could burst that Prophet for sure.
Yeah, I think they could pretty much kill whoever they get the jump on here. Moves down towards the bottom lane. At the moment in time, S4 and FNG the ones to hang around here. Of course, FNG really did the dream catch for the smoke gang. S4's the target. There we go, make success. He's in, Arena's down. It's an easy setup with the Sunray. They've got ample damage to bring S4 down. He's going to turn for out the Roar.
Oh, he's
a summon. Oh, he's got the Supernova, so man, he's able to save himself.
Didn't kill him, but still forcing a Supernova. It's fine considering the situation he was in. In the meantime, Nico Baby just continues to farm. We'll have SNY done. 13 minutes in on top of Maelstrom.
It's very quick.
It's Radiant's middle
super
tower
quick.
is under
Like they were just constantly in the ancient stats, taking the enemy ancients. Level 10. How's Monkey doing? Level 9. Still needs to buy a broadsword to finish off the battle
Dire's
fury.
top tower
And
is
what you
under
sort of
attack.
imagine there's going to be this period in the game where Nico Baby, she says, is going to have this incredibly quick Maelstrom S&Y, and Alliance, they will look to try and get aggressive and try and fight Monet, find the Monkey King whilst he only has the Battle Fury.
Yeah, that's the timing, because Weaver wants to take a fight. They have a good setup, you know, for the Wukongs. Monet actually got a point, because there's a lot of synergy between, like, Wukongs, especially with the Arena, Midnight Pulse, Coil, you name it. They have so many circles in this game, so much team fight. And it's easy to execute, I would say. Like, even if Aster misses, like, 1 or 2 abilities, the big ones, they can still take the fight, because
Dire's middle tower is
just
under
doesn't get
attack.
better than this. Maybe Dark's here instead of Boost. I don't know. But yeah, pretty much the best team fight abilities. That Prophet. Level 6 for the Echo Slam anyway.
S4 has got the Roar.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. I'm out. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Hunting. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like Radiant closed the blast doors. Hey! Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Thank you, my beauties.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Invisibility.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Radiant's
under
bottom
attack.
tower has fallen.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. bounty.
A golden blade.
Invisibility.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is
Very
under
aggressive
attack.
also as charges.
Yeah, instantly 2 TPs coming in. I'm going to be able to get him with the spear. XXS comes in, clips into the tree. He's coming. Getting the BKB at the time. So hands get covered.
Убегаешь соперников, стягиваешь, да. Ну, говорю, тут на тоненького, то есть хотел сделать красиво, вот чуть не умер.
Да, но тем не менее.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The Dire have reinforced their structures. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire's middle tower has been denied. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
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 Хотел? Да.
Не рассчитал
Тут
тайминг.
уже нет смысла.
Второй попытки уже точно у него не будет.
这样的话，这一波还是让星辰打赢了。
Regeneration.
bounty.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
The intense passion. Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March, Black Major Dota is coming back. The intense passion.
Let's get in on this.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
ASTER. They're starting the fight here onto S4. Gonna have the heals coming out from Hanskin. It isn't enough to keep him alive though. Nico baby sweeping up FNG junction with the stab from the other one. The Monkey King can kill one. They don't back off. Lana, he's been able to fight the lockdown onto the Weaver. Grab slip as well. They take down Nico baby for once.
BKB.
They can do it a second time lift. He's trying to run down Lanham up to the high ground, but the Sunray heal from Mats, keeping the Enigma alive. Jump forward from way out, but they're looking to get in on lift. XX is a beautiful spear. Pushing straight back towards the face of ASTER. As they catch Slim, Nico Baby and Hanskin on the way out. Hanskin TP's out. Nico Baby the only one left around as, again, ASTER coming in with a big hit. XXS, these arenas, these catches that the Mars is playing, it's allowing them to just break Alliance apart. That jump onto S4, suddenly Alliance don't have the full potential. They try and get back in with that move from FNG, but they didn't have enough damage.
They need him in the fight. Like, they need him to use his abilities. They need the book. They need the primal roar. He needs to be the one initiating. If he's the one getting jumped, like you can see, even the heals coming out from the IO, the mech, it's still not enough to keep people alive. I was really wondering like why XXS did not upgrade his boots. He had brown boots for 25 minutes and now he upgraded the face.
And we're seeing as well, just each of these fights, I feel like it's been the third time, at least where Lanham, he's just able to pretty much put the entirety of Nico Baby's BKB to waste with these black holes.
It's a position 5 Enigma. Like,
yeah, he's doing
at
so
the
much
moment, you really don't feel like it's a position 5. It's gonna become even worse once he gets that BKB.
Yeah.
Weaver has a basher Q. Yeah. I guess he just wants to be able to deal with the BKB black hole eventually if Roar is not used, but I would love to see more damage on the Weaver. You can feel that like he's not dealing that much damage, especially against the Monkey King. It's more of a tickling. Monkey King sitting at 22 armor. Got that BKB, got that Paladin sword, so he's ready to go in, ready to take these fights. I just want to see if Nico Baby commits fully to the Basher build.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The investment, so maybe still deciding what's going to quite be the best fit this stage of the game. Right, as you say, you know, Basher's not necessarily going to help in the damage aspect, but the maybe just favouring the control, that potential to get the Abyssal down the line, have something else to maybe try and cancel these black holes, but that's going to be hard because most of the time Lanham, he is making sure that he gets Nico Baby every single time.
Yeah, that's his target. Like, he needs to be able to control the Weaver. They have enough. The silences, White Album. Like, this is kind of his build that I've seen a couple of times throughout the DPC League. You know, getting that Veil, getting the Dagon, not going for any like defensive items. Now he's gonna get the Eon Disc, which I really like, you know, that instant initiation coming out from the Earthshaker or from the Beastmaster, and then you can get spells on BKB by success.
All right. Dominique sees FNG, maybe thinks that you can get away with the BKB if FNG was going to try and go for the Fisher into the blink out, but FNG he sort of calls the bluff and he just blinks straight out. No wasted time throwing out abilities. That no opportunity for XXS to get the catch on it.
Big item coming out from Limb. Shiva's guard done when he uses the courier. So that's gonna help out with providing the vision against the Monkey King. If he's standing on the trees, reducing the attack speed.
Invisibility.
There's a Monkey King now though with a Daedalus. Monet, it's gonna hurt. Alliance, despite the fact that they're keeping the gold close. You know, we're seeing Monet, he's really closed the gap on Nico, baby.
Ian this ready on map.
That's what they can do with this, man. He's able to dive away, way up and just laying down the Dream Coil, stopping Alliance from initially chasing any further. They're still trying to go for it, man. They pop the Supernova, the arena's out. XXS, he's going to try and turn it. BKB is back up. Then we got the spear connection onto Hans King. Hits him straight over the wall. S4 comes over the wall onto Monet. So they bring it down the line, and he did. He put out the money back on. He's out there, everyone. Again. Every single time.
Yeah, Lanham is just too good at Dota. He just caught 4 people. That's a blink BK. He doesn't even have a BKB on Enigma, and he's getting the tips. Like, this is what I like to see.
It feels like one of those games that, I don't know how you can never let this team get the Enigma again. If Lanham's going to play it like this.
Tower is under attack.
He's single-handedly destroying Alliance. They can't fight into this. Perfectly waiting for the opportunity to get in. So take the bug off, make sure he's going to have that chance to get the jump. He gets 3 and then FNG says, tell you what, I'm feeling generous, have a 4th.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's just beautiful. You know, let him get in. There it is. And it doesn't get more perfect than that.
It does. Lanham. They've got to deal with this Enigma. They can't go for any sort of move unless they are 100% certain that they have control of Lanham.
They will have 2 Eon disc, one Puck, 1 on Phoenix. So like even if you get a good initiation, like they're still gonna be able to make a counterplay. Like there was a Yule Scepter, but they also need some kind of follow-up. Maybe if Earthshaker was there to stun the Phoenix when he came out of the Yule Scepter, things could have been a bit different. But I can understand like why FNG does not want to like fully commit. He wants to be able to go in after. Suddenly 10k gold lead for ASTER.
10k lead. I mean, that, look at that just coming out.
We'll respond in 2
Radiant's
minutes.
courier was caught in the crossfire. Aww.
Earthshaker has a shard, but it's not an S tier shard anymore. It's not good. It was a bit OP before.
A bit. There we go, ASTER. Ready to exercise their lead even more.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're ready to make the jumps, but S4's out. They'll find FNG though. No escape for the Shaker.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Take down a part of Alliance around this moment where Roshan will be coming back up shortly.
They just don't have the damage anymore, I feel like, on Alliance. Weaver going for the Basher into Abyssal Blade. That's fine, you know, to be able to control Enigma, but you also have a Beastmaster. Maybe they're thinking, you know, we need this roar on someone else. Like, we can't afford to use it on Enigma, but after seeing what happened in the previous fight, they might be forced to, you know, wait with the roar to go on Enigma.
Yeah, so someone's got to stop these black holes. If they don't stop Lanham from getting his ultimate off, they're just going to continue to lose every single team fight. No doubt about it, with the way that Lanham's been able to find these placements. Yeah, this game, without a doubt, it's
Dire's top tower
very
is
difficult
under
for
attack.
Alliance. They did have that, you know, that solid opening at the beginning of this game. Nico Baby's farm just in a fantastic position. They just weren't able to do enough with it.
Yeah, it feels they didn't take the fight when Weaver was strong, and now it's kind of backfiring.
I think sort of the beginning of sort of the tough times for Alliance was that move that they did make around the tier 2 mid. And they tried to go in a bit too aggressive onto Monet, played that chance to maybe take the team fight. It was too deep, close to the tier 2 and in an awkward spot. And yet you have to be so careful overextending against a lineup like ASTER's because of how phenomenal their team fight is.
Monet has been playing so well this game. They didn't even manage to kill him once, got his farm, has actually enough gold to buy a full Abyssal Blade. Next success, ready to jump in.
This Roshan is not something that Alliance can go for unless they take some sort of a fight. No chance of doing it whilst it has to have the full 5-man alive. ASTER's on the hunt. They know that Alliance is going to be playing this high ground, waiting for some sort of movement around the pit. The question is, are Alliance prepared for ASTER to come in from this angle? Coming in from their own jungle, XXS looks for the jump. FNG's out inside, they'll find Limp, though Limp's alone. He's getting burst low, they're able to save him, he's able to get himself up in the open yours. Bonnie tries to lay down the Wukong's command, and the Fisher from FNG puts a stop to the cast of it. As Limp will live for now, S4 has to put the BKB, Nico Baby turns up, he's looking for Mantle, Supernova down. That's the arena, can they kill down, taking time on the roar out onto XXS, the end will get taken down by Nico Baby. They've lost Limp though, XXS he's decided to back out of this, but the bash is there. Nico Baby is able to put a stop to the TP. Alliance have found 2, they should be able to find a 3rd with XXS left alone.
White Album is just cleaning up with the Dagon. Man, Limp, he was so patient with the BKB, did not want to use it. Dagon from Puck, reset, and he goes in and just blows him up. But nicely done from Weaver, you know, having that Abyssal Blade can easily jump Enigma right now. Have an extra lockdown. They might try to force a fight inside the pit. Spell Prism found by Monkey King. Like, this is the item that you want to have. Puck will probably get it. Puck also gets level 25, the bigger silence, the bigger range. Monet gets the kill on S4.
Monkey gonna kill up Monet. Nico Baby jumps up with the Abyssal Blade. Monet. I mean, he's gonna pop the BKB, but he's got Lanham will now come out the black hole. Nico Baby just gets taken out response. Lanham. He says it doesn't matter, Monet, if you're dying. You know, I'm the carry now. I'm going to deal with the Weaver, and he certainly does. They're going to be able to chase down a hand step too. As White Album and Lanham, they'll take down another. Lanham, he really doesn't care what the rest of his team does. He says, I've got this one, boys.
Every single time, he just uses ulti on Weaver. Unfortunately, Hanscom did not have enough mana to use the relocate. Buyback for Monet. Like, they want to get this Roshan. Like, just kill the Roshan, give it the Aegis.
I mean, I was going to say, Alliance
wants to contest. They're the buybacks, they know.
It's going to be a little more costly.
Double damage. No one scouted that one out. Penta Edge Sword found by Monkey. It's a really good item on the Monkey King, especially with the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, you can't escape the statues. It's White Album. Let's scout the action. DDC still not being taken. It's going to be pretty huge for the next fight. Sue's able to get their hands on it. Nico Baby's charging in. He's able to make his way over to what the DD really is. Alliance, jump on the Hanskin. Dorina's down as well as the Super on that Hanskin. He's going to get taken down. She's gone for 99. Hold for the side jump over to this one. Nico Baby has the BKB off. Roll from S4. Out on the way success. The BKB does the
big move on.
Nico Baby another takes down. The BKB for Nico Baby wears off. The Dream Core catches him. That's the Weaver down for 2 minutes. A dieback from Nico Baby as ASTER will have no trouble cleaning up the rest of the fight as it's only Limp and FNG left alive.
They can't take this fight with only 2 heroes. ASTER can just go inside the pit. Monkey still chasing. Has the Abyssal Blade ready soon. And the Boundless Strike, but a bit out of range. I think Alliance will have one more fight. Like, they need to kill the Roche. I don't think they have enough time to just kill the Roche and go end the game.
Hang on. And G is seeing if he could go for some sort of wild play around the pit. This to be the case. And he ends up giving up another kill here to ASTER. 29 to 13, 16k lead for Aegis. It's gonna be theirs.
70 seconds without Weaver. Let's see what they can do. They can take at least the top side.
Yep.
They're taking the outpost right now.
Dire's top tower is
just
under
before that
attack.
40-minute mark. They're gonna have that benefit, take it up. Okay, Alliance did have the bottom one under their control, so at least Alliance missed out completely on the X.
Still 50 seconds, now they need to go through Aegis, go through the cheese. Aeon Disc will reset by the time they take the fight.
Top tower is under attack.
Maybe Weaver, you know, kind of considers Abyssal Blade a bad choice. Like Nullify, I think they would get a lot of value also from that item. But yeah, ASTER knocking on their barracks right now. This is the second set of barracks.
Dyer's top barracks have fallen.
Playing the fights against Lanham's only going to get more difficult now that he found that ninja gear for himself. It's going to be constantly set up in the shadows. Lights to be so sort of strict with the way that they force themselves to try and at least get someone around from the side, around from the back.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack
every single time. Chance of a hold around this tier 2. They've got to wait for the base defense.
The
problem is Puck has items, you know, with the Spell Prism. Just, if he catches two heroes, they follow it up with the Wukong's command. These two heroes are just straight up dead. Anyone who gets caught inside that combo is dead.
Pretty much nothing at all they can do against it. I mean, with the lead that ASTER have, fast to get any sort of initiation or jump, but it's going to be pretty much impossible for Alliance.
Love the itemization on that. Phoenix getting that Spirit Vessel to nullify some of the healing from Dead Prophet and Io, getting Aeon Disc, a lot of value. He also has a refresher, so if he feels threatened, he can just refresh.
Not even going to be able to force that out of him. TV's coming in, Nico maybe knows that he can't hang around any longer. Hansken, he's been left behind. Alliance able to get out of there, but not without the IO for a minute. Save won't be available.
They really like refreshers on ASTER. They have one done, and they have two queued up. One on Mars, one on Enigma.
So what Alliance can do about this? Great. White Album jumping in, forcing back FNG. Recon's command laid down, giving Mono the ability to stand his ground there. Start beating down onto the tier 3 tower. What can Alliance do to stop this? Throwing out a simple over, stopping any sort of chance of Alliance pushing back Mono. Mono's able to continue to go to work, take down this melee race. Now the jump will be made. The BKB's up for time, though. It's not fighting the wrong, but it's not followed. Damage.
Another egg.
Got to lead Mono. And they have to back up yet again, Alliance. They still can't get in on this. In fact, Mono into the mid moves over towards S4, but the fish is there from FNG. Holds out Mono. They bring him down the once. Jump in from White Album. Tap the first. In there, there is a buyback available for FNG. XXS. First one, Arena, then tries Nico maybe. Nico maybe. Time and lock down Mono. Everything was about to time down. So just about that ball. He's missed the black hole. Nico maybe is going to be able to live. And now he can turn. He looks towards Ladder. Ladder will fall into the damage on the Weaver. They also find XXS. Look, he's been focused. He gets Jules up in time. Shot forward. Comes crashing back down into the shot.
Does not have a buyback.
Nico maybe needs to do a big clean up here to push the whole game on for Alliance. He may just do so. It's over to Mono with the Abyssal Blade. Turn towards Bad Drop to TP out. The damage is there from Nico baby. Alliance, they have lost their racks, but they will hold. They haven't lost the game yet.
Oh man, that black hole actually hit nothing there. Nice usage of the spells from ASTER, you know, just the zoning tool so they can go in, get the mega creeps. Monkey King does not have buyback, so they have 1.5 minutes to work with. Let's see what they can do. Beaver going for damage, going for True Strike, like it's time to buy it. You know, if he sells the wand, still needs around like 2 minutes to farm the Divine Rapier.
We'll see this again.
Radiant's middle tower is under
pressure from ASTER, but it was getting the job done, gave the space for the racks to be taken down. But Alliance is definitely able to make something out of it.
Like, Beaver dies there, game is straight up ends.
Lanham, for all the green black holes he has, couldn't quite get him there. Would have been a blind one, I believe. Didn't have the vision on Nico baby as he was shakooching away. And that movement speed just a little too much for Lanham to get the prediction right and catch him that time round.
If they can get a good jump on Enigma, like Enigma has buyback, but yeah, if they can clean him up, Fever getting closer and closer to that Divine Rapier.
He is. Should be on track to have it for the next defense. 1,000 gold away. So baby, picking up an item that we'll have to wait and see if it's going to be able to do enough. Turn around the game against Megas, against a scary looking team Aster that has a 21k advantage against them.
Very close. Divine Rapier just 300 gold away. Problem is they don't have anything against the Eons. Like they don't have a nullifier. They can't dispel it other than the Yule Scepter. But then like you're not focusing the hero if you use Yule Scepter on him. Here it is. Divine Rapier done.
Alrighty. Pressure's on. And they pull this off Alliance. For Aster, they've just got to catch Nico Baby in one of their ultimates. Things will start to fall apart already. The jump's been made. S4's been found. Leave him alone. He's going to get the roar out. Off the Lotus off, but he's getting poked his hand scared.
She's available on Mars.
Hand scared, pretty safe, and they're not actually going to lose S4. S4.
This could potentially be bad. Lanham is smoked.
Right up. He's in and he's out. Takes down S4. Get him at the end of the game. White Album still chasing. He's going to go pull out back to the Octarine field. This will be problem. He's popping the exorcism. He's going to start trying to force away the Supernova down. He jumps off to the side. Nico Baby has got the damage to take down White Album. He has, and White Album's able to jump out and away with the illusory orb. Poke will escape.
Creeps are in the base. They need to address that problem. These are the mega creeps. White Album playing so well, going in and out. He knows that he can't die. You know, having that Eon Disc, CDR coming out from the Octarine core, coming out from the Spell Prism. Duration on phase shift 325, cooldown 3.7, not too bad. Like it's a 60-second cooldown on Eon Disc. 9 seconds on Dagon 5.
We saw how much he was doing with those abilities without the juice cooldown. Now it's going to be even crazier. Juice cooldown's going to refresh your land on a ladder. White Album jumps in, Lip. Going to start on the defense, but the exorcism on it. Moves it straight away. We've got to find him. This is like he's unlocking that from the Lip's gone. He's got a buyback to get himself to take back to the action, but the 2-4s are falling. Here we go, baby. Brings the backline. Hopes to deal this guy bad. They're looking to just end the game.
There's the black hole.
Yet again, Ladder. He's got the catch. The second black hole locks out there. With the buyback. He's out of the game. It's over.
Oh man, what an ending. Like he had for understanding. Wicked just forced it. You know, use this Wukong's command as the zoning tool. Go for the barracks, even though they had the glyph, it was still not. Missed opportunity when they had the Weaver, who was staying so far ahead of the Monkey King. I believe it was like 3 or 4k, 12, 13 minutes in. It was just the awesome amount of farm that he had, but couldn't find like any real openings. And Lanham, man, what a performance by him.
Yes, I mean, what have you got to do about this Enigma? Did pretty much just not let them have it? You just have to ban it?
Possibly, you know, because like there are other heroes, you know, that you need to ban when you're playing against the Lanham, possibly like Winter Wyvern. Also, his Abaddon is insane, so maybe they need to find a different approach.
Tough team to draft against, and of course for Matt is showing here. Pretty pleased for him coming in as the stand-in and a great first performance.
Yeah, I think the team is pretty satisfied with how he played.
Yeah, not bad at all. Very exciting stuff here from ASTER in Game 1. So they'll take the victory against Alliance.
Thank you very much, OD, Pixel, and Lacoste. As Lacoste said, when the Weaver goes down, the game ends. Do you think that can kind of describe Alliance's game?
Yeah, pretty much.
They were all in on Nico Baby to carry them. I think ASTER's had this kind of unbeatable team fight. Like, yeah, the Enigma was coming up big, but it was like every single hero packed a punch. You had Supernova, you had Dream Coil, you had Mars Arena, and the only advantage Alliance had was the fact for at least like the first 30 minutes or so, Weaver was the scariest, strongest hero in the game, but Weaver couldn't do it all.
Yeah, they pretty much relied completely on Weaver and Wisp just going in and out constantly. They have this, I've seen this in Europe, it's played a lot. You have IO sharing the movement speed of the Weaver, and they're just too mobile to be controlled. Plus you have this very instant initiation coming from the Shaker. That's how you plan your fights. However, not everyone can do that. Beastmaster, he needs to lock down on a target. That Prophet as well needs these prolonged team fights, and for these prolonged team fights, I don't see the way that you win them versus ASTER, because they have the perfect, literally the perfect team for them.
Yeah.
When you look at ASTER's draft, it's pretty much the embodiment of the Chinese region when it comes to how they play. It's all about these team coordinated movements across the map. Meanwhile, on the side of ASTER, on the side of Alliance, it's all about these quick skirmishes, which didn't actually work out.
They didn't have enough lockdown. Like, it felt like, I mean, when a 5-position Enigma is getting those kind of black holes off, it's just like, it means they kind of had to save the fissure to cancel a black hole, at least in the early game, but then how are you killing anyone without using your stuns? It was just such an easy game for Lineup to wait. The second a fissure or a stun is used, he's just going in with a blink black hole.
Which one of the circles did you like the most?
Well, I really like Lanham circles, except for, okay, I had a big question about this part where, you know, Lanham was hanging out in the back, in the very, very back. He was just standing there while they were fighting. The Team ASTER wasn't even taking the racks. They just went after the heroes, and then Lanham just kind of cruises in and drops his black hole on the Ancient, and then the enemy team kind of walked into it. What was up with that?
It's the name of the game, Defense of the Ancient. You can't let it just be swallowed in a black hole. You run in there.
He knows they can't defend if there's a black hole on top of it, so he places it there and it's like, you good luck defending this now.
Nah, that was very peculiar as well. They were kind of trying to get to the Raxes, I believe, and defend them, but they couldn't pass through that. It was something that the chat will know as a zoning black hole.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, a zoning black hole. They did walk right into it.
One, yeah.
So, based off of what you've seen here, who do you think would be MVP for Team ASTER?
Lanham, I think.
Lanham 100%.
Actually, as much as like I think it was a draft advantage, Alliance could have won that game if not for his black holes. They had a gold lead at various points, I think, in the early to mid game with a really farm Weaver, and Lanham's Enigma just won them multiple team fights. And even when he was just doing those one-man black holes, like he solo killed the Weaver after his Monkey King died, like he knew his one job was to just black hole this Weaver.
Honorable mention as well is Mad, like this guy's standing in and he's still doing so well. He's standing in for a team and he's feeling like Boboka pretty much on that Phoenix. Doing really well.
Do you think that the Phoenix pick was a comfort pick for Mad?
He's a position 4 or 5 player, he's a support player, and Phoenix is one of those heroes that every single support should be able to play, so it should be... You could see when he tried to Sunray move and TP that it really is in his comfort zone.
Yeah. It was
awesome.
It worked well.
Yeah.
But, you know, he did fantastic, and we've seen kind of a little bit of a decline in gameplay on teams when they've had stand-ins, but in this case, that really didn't seem like the case.
That's good news for ASTER moving forward, and I think something Lizard mentioned is that when you have a stand-in for a support player, and it's a support standing for a support, it's a much easier fit than what Nigma had to deal with, which was I think offlane's probably one of the hardest roles to replace, and then they had a support player standing in, so definitely ASTER looked amazing. I mean, we're not even talking about some of the players, like Puck was like 14-1 and 16, like he had an incredible game, but everyone on ASTER just stepped up here.
Yep.
Well, Team ASTER brought the Circle Comp, and these circles were brought to you by JBL. Thank you so much, JBL, for helping us put on this tournament. Gear up your gaming experience with the all-new JBL Quantum Series gaming headsets and PC speakers. You can find out more on jbl.com or follow at JBL_SG on Instagram. We have more Dota 2 coming up after this short break.
Shopee for Mega Shopping Day. Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Shopee for Mega deals, free shipping every day. Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Shopee for Mega deals, free shipping every day. Shopee for Mega Shopping Day.
Get the best deals this Shopee for Mega Shopping Day. Shopee.
Come on, let's play. Ain't nothing gonna hold us down. Ain't no stopping us now. We got the keys, we're running this town. Come on, let's play.
This is not your grandfather's apprentice. The winner will receive the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work for me as my protege. You bombed, and you bombed. I've fallen a million times, but I get back up and I fight, and that's what you guys will do. This is the toughest apprentice in history. May the best warrior win.
We all have different adventure stories to tell. Different paths, different choices. I chose an unusual path, a choice that is not for everyone. You are constantly moving from place to place. You have to sacrifice a lot of time. You have to focus to be on top.
Ice does have 4 staff available. Oh, Ice, he's in trouble.
Every journey has ups and downs. All you need is to focus on your goal.
Just eating them all alive. GG, let's go!
We all have different adventure stories to tell, and mine is just getting started.
Welcome back, everyone. We just saw Team ASTER take a very convincing victory in Game 1 of this series, but it is a best of 2, and both teams are just getting started. It's LAN Dota.
Yep, very interested in seeing which bans will go in the first stage instantly. Last time we saw ASTER banning out Kotl and Alchemist, yeah, something that's to be expected against Alliance. However, Alliance perhaps have something different now in store. Maybe Monkey King, maybe Phoenix, maybe Enigma even, who knows.
And that was a last pick Enigma as well.
Yep.
That's the thing that I think it really caught them by surprise, and I imagine ASTER's like, this is not only a good hero to secure the lane against the Beastmaster, but they don't have a whole lot to cancel this black hole. Yeah, they have Roar to go through BKB, and yeah, they had Earthshaker, but that's how they initiate fights. Enigma's not, he's looking to come in later on at the end of the fight.
Yep.
Now that we've seen, Matt subbing in with a Phoenix that performed really well, do you think that they're going to ban that out? Just be like, we don't know how he's going to do. Let's just ban out a hero that we know he's good with?
Yeah, I think that's a good approach when versing a team with a stand-in. If he's gonna have maybe the smallest hero pool or be less comfortable on a different hero, so banning out the Phoenix is also just a key part of their big team fight strategy.
ASTER did play those two heroes, but they played them in very specific situations. They played TA versus Puck on mid lane, and when they need the semi-core coming from there, and they play SF almost specifically into DP because he wins the matchup and it gives you a hero that can just blow her up at any given point in the game. So why not ban Puck instead? We were mentioning it.
Right.
It's so good with Phoenix, so good with Mars, and it's one of those heroes that teams usually ban versus Team ASTER because they're so strong with him.
And they picked it second phase. Like they had 3 bans to work with, and they left Puck in the pool. Maybe they thought they were going to get the Puck. I don't know, but it was, I think a bit bold to think that.
When you don't have first pick in the second stage, there's no way, right?
Yeah, it was very interesting because Team ASTER does have a 6-0 score on Phoenix in the league, as well as a 7-3 on Puck. So definitely 2 of their strongest heroes.
Yeah, they played Phoenix a lot on position 4, and this time around nothing different. Matt playing it, he was... Yeah, they literally had 2 position 4s coming from this game. But this line of Enigma, they started in the Chinese region. We did see a little bit of position 5 Enigma, not a lot. However, I understand completely what Owen and Lacoste were saying, that it's hard to pull off the Black Hole versus Beastmaster. Yeah, sure, but it's hard for the Beastmaster to dominate the lane and do what he usually does versus Eidolons.
Dire team pick.
Also, so I think, you know, we've kind of come from different regions. Like I knew you were casting China SEA, I was over there casting a lot of NA. I think there's different regional biases towards against certain heroes. One of the heroes I've thought coming in was going to be bad was the IO. I think where I adjust that is, I think IO's support has not looked good. It's yet to win a game. As a carry, I think IO is amazing. Really hard to deal with, really hard to beat, but I don't know if Alliance play the core IO, but support IO has looked weak to me, and if this is going to be another support IO, I'm a little bit...
I think they did. I think they did. I was... but this is... Yeah, they did, but this is something that they just love. And it did look strong. That game was in their hands multiple times, right? So they could have taken it. And I don't mind them trying the same thing again. They'll cover it probably with similar bans, Bloodseeker like in the last game, and then
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team
the puck ban already, exactly, and the Enigma ban a little bit earlier this time around.
The ban Kunkka as well was the other hero that
that one was a little bit interesting. I understand why, but yesterday after Gambit's loss with that Kunkka, in which he had a really good matchup mid lane and overall a really good game, everyone in the CIS was like, okay, why are you picking this dead hero? It just doesn't work. In the perfect scenario, it doesn't work, which means that probably there's something not right.
5 seconds remaining.
There was a point in the game yesterday where they had landed an X into an ulti with Kunkka, and then they had no follow-up. It did kind of no damage. So definitely an interesting choice, but maybe we'll see it here with the other heroes banned.
I really like the Monkey King ban as well versus Monet. Monkey King as a hero is extremely strong right now, but I feel that he shines when he has this teamfight composition behind him. Perhaps not even Phoenix and Mars, maybe just Phoenix. Maybe just Phoenix +1, and it just feels so much better to play when you can set that Wukong's command down and know that your teammates will be able to fight around it.
ASTER does have a 6-2 score with Monkey King, so definitely one of their heroes as well. One thing that I know we talked a little bit about yesterday is that Team ASTER also has a very good support Luna 3-0 in the league right now.
Radiant team ban!
Is one of those supports that brings, a lot of team fight to the table. Decent in lane, you just kind of spam Lucent Beam and people and zone them out, so looks solid, and there you go.
Yeah,
Sumi.
good call, Tsumi.
Wait, let me practice this. Oh, it was so obvious.
Good job.
No, you go to the opposite, like, I no one saw it coming except me, you know?
No, I definitely didn't see it coming. ASTER, I believe the league that you were talking about would be FDC. I can't remember them playing 5 Luna in the
5 seconds
DPC
remaining.
league. Maybe they did, and I just forgot about the game. But yeah, overall, very interesting pick. We've seen it yesterday do extremely well, and then we've also seen it do absolutely nothing in one of the games. So we'll see which side of Luna we'll see this time around.
Looks like Alliance is taking a little bit more time to pick their heroes. The first time around, it seemed like the draft was pretty fast, especially toward the end when they were locking in their last heroes, but now they're giving it their extra time, so... I'm not sure.
Yeah, that Prophet is still in the pool, something that they can think about picking once again. I don't think that there was a major problem with the hero. I think that it did what it usually does.
Unless they just want to pick their support first, maybe, I guess. Figure out what the FNG hero is going to be. When you pick this IO, you're not getting stuns out of your 4th position, so generally you need stuns out of your 5, and FNG is going to tusk it, looks like.
And I can't say how much more I like the Tusk 5 over the Shaker 5. Tusk 5 just feels much, much better. It's easy. Don't get me wrong, FNG had some pretty sick echoes in that last game, but he needed time to get to that Blink Dagger. He needed time to get there, and Tusk is online from minute 1.
And especially because Alliance had such a good early to mid game, if they had a Tusk, it felt like they could have snowballed a lot more. I think Tusk was maybe banned, though, in game 1. I think, was it banned first, too, by Alliance, even?
I don't remember.
Maybe not, but...
But we've seen Tusk do some fantastic things in the games yesterday and the day before, so I think it's a good pick.
This is a great Queen of Pain pick, though. I like this a lot.
Why?
There's no stuns other than the Tusk, who's not like you've got a snowball in. Like you basically there's nothing to lock Queen of Pain down. It brings a lot of burst damage to the table, which is what you need against IO in general. Support IO's always healing up your carry, so you have to blow a hero like Weaver up really quickly if you want to kill them before time lapse, before the IO heals.
Yeah, we saw that in the last match, right? Like they had a little bit of a lock. They had a lot of a lockdown. They had Black Hole Arena, and still Weaver was just surviving through every single initiation in that early game. But all right,
Darkseer.
Gotta go fast, team. That's it. Darkseer, Weaver with Sakuchi, IO.
Yeah. And then a getaway or an initiate with Tusk. Team movement.
And pretty I would assume this will be Darkseer plus Tusk on the offlane, and then IO Weaver safe lane, right? And you have this really good combination of heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
Very low pick rate so far. Do you think we'll see more of Darkseer as the games go on?
It's possible. I'm not exactly sure because the hero doesn't feel that strong. But in some situations, he can definitely be very scary. Like this, Darkseer plus Tusk should dominate the Luna 5 lane. Maybe even put this Luna somehow on the offlane with Mars and set that Phoenix on safe lane, because he can at least dive out of danger.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Luna should pretty much suffer there.
10 seconds
they
remaining.
Should find a hero that actually does well now versus the Darkseer on that core position 1.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we I think talked about another panel. It's like the heroes that used to be good against the Darkseer, some of them aren't as meta anymore. Like the Anti-Mage, not really a pick that comes out very much.
Void ban.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a bubble, it's a circle.
It's a circle, it's a bubble. It fits the team fight composition the team master usually goes for.
It's a void.
But it's a void.
Playing void.
Yeah. I don't know. Alliance is like. It feels like
are they sending a message?
No, I feel like they prepared for China, but they slept through half of their classes. So half of them they know, half of them they're like, was that the Void Spirit or Void? Just ban any of them.
I don't mind it because I think they think of like, what are the heroes that can do well against the Darkseer in lane, and what hero would work well with the draft? Void for sure. It's just not a hero that's relevant in the current meta per se. DK yet to win a game here in Singapore, and Alliance.
A safe pick versus the Queen of Pain, right? Something that a hero that can sustain himself through all the shadow strikes.
And they had nothing.
Very solid stun, very solid lockdown versus
10 seconds remaining.
Plus another hero that benefits quite a bit from the Darkseer, Iron Shell. They go with it. Yesterday, we mentioned AM and we mentioned Jug as heroes that are strong versus Darkseer.
Yep. I mean, maybe they do put the Phoenix with the Jug, and then you've got Sunray as well as Healing Ward. You've got a lot of sustain against the Iron Shell, which is just going to constantly kind of whittle away at you. So I think the Jug's a solid pick here.
Pretty all right. You have a lot of sustain, like you said, Sunray and Healing Ward. However, this time around, I'm going to go with Alliance as my. I'll predict first. Yeah, I think in the first game they had a much better draft. It was way more solid. That's why I went with them. But Alliance still had their chances. This time around, I don't think that the disparity between the drafts is that big, and I think Alliance will be able to take it.
Okay.
Gods?
Me? I'm going to disagree with Lizard again. I'm probably once again for my own foolishness, but I'm going to go with ASTER.
Yep.
I think they just have a bit more playmaking. They've got the big team fight that works so well for them, and this Queen of Pain mid. I think the DK is a good response, but I just feel like Queen of Pain just does more around the map, whereas Darkseer DK just feels like a bit too passive, if anything.
I think Team ASTER will take it as well.
Nobody loves me.
Sorry, Lizard, but I don't know. I just feel I feel a lot more confident in their pick and having Matt on that Phoenix, which has been proven now here at LAN. I mean, it's just that's what I expect. All right, OD, Pixel, and Lacoste. What do you think?
I feel ASTER has this one. It's a Darkseer, not a hero that we usually see. They don't have a single combo with the hero. Their best combination is Vacuum into Storm.
Is that a combo?
That's the best they got.
Yeah, it looks a little surprising. I'm interested to see what they do with it. The Weaver IO, they're sticking with it. They did obviously have great success with it before. They're sort of going to say, it doesn't matter, we lost the game, we're going to go for it again. But overall, I would definitely have to favor the side of ASTER coming in, especially after what we saw in game 1.
So it looks like Lizard is alone in his prediction. Let's see if he comes out on top as we get into game 2 of Team ASTER versus Alliance.
Well, let's find out indeed the second game. I mean, as you said, Lakosha, for Alliance this time around, with that Weaver IO, if they do get the same sort of start as we saw from the last game, what do you want to see them do differently?
Because, the two fights they took after Weaver was super farm, didn't go to their advantage, and it felt like they were kind of shut down. You know, Monkey King managed to get his items, Aghanim Scepter after finishing the battle, Fury, it's just like so much damage, and Lanham's Enigma was a big part of it, but this time around, Enigma was banned out. Of course, after a performance like that, you need to completely remove it from the pool.
Absolutely, pretty much probably the third ban from Alliance in the draft this time round. And you know, getting to have his goal on the Luna support this time round, you know, there's not going to be much of a downgrade, right? The support Luna has been having some insane games.
This is gonna be fun!
Luna as a support, you know, it's something that China did not play, not even a single time, I believe, during the first season. But already picked it like 6-7 times so far, and it's looking really good. I love it. Like, you have that position 5 that does well, has the nuking power. Once you hit level 6, everyone needs to be careful. It's the hero that scales eventually. Like, if you can somehow manage to farm that Aghanim Scepter, could be a game changer. Also, after that performance from their coach Matt on the Phoenix, they let him have it once again. Roboka at home, you know, trying to think like what's going on, sweating if he's at home, not sure where he is, but definitely after a performance like this, Matt earned my respect.
Nice, so yeah, we'll see if he can come up with a repeat showing here in game 2. I mean, the lane setup, you know, played against this last time. I mean, last time they played against this lane, they were able to find first blood against Nico Baby. So Nico Baby is going to have to be a little more careful than he was last time round. Give up that one unnecessary death in the laning stage.
Mid lane should be even, you know, no one should die in this matchup, it's just a trade. One of the reasons why they picked the Dragon Knight, because he doesn't lose the lane, has enough sustain with the Dragon's Guard to be able to sustain through the harassment coming out from Queen of Pain.
Radiant's courier was caught in the crossfire. Carry,
very low there to the Iron Shell, chase down
of money on that thing.
Creeps. Pressure being put on here by S4 and FNG. As yeah, he's going to have to take the healing water at second level, pop some mango. Lana might have even handed that one over. They have the water, and they will manage to get him back into fighting shape.
It's the same lane on the top. You know, Mars, Phoenix, plus Io and Weaver. We'll see how that one goes. Nico Baby, once again, because he has the sustain coming up from the Io, that the region plus the tether, can afford to get the Maelstrom as the first item, something he's done in the previous game, which allowed him to stay on the top of the network, was extremely farmed. I'm wondering how many stacks will they make. Also, it's a possibility for Team Aster to invade those stacks with the heroes that they have. Like, you have a Mars, you have Queen of Pain, one of the better ones that can easily just clear it.
Like mad. Bug on him, and they will be able to find first but themselves this game, and the second time around. Bottom lane as well, they get the trap onto Lanham. They've also got the trap back with the vacuum. Alliance picking up kills in both of the side lanes.
Much better start for Alliance this time around. On the top lane, they get a kill. Urn of Shadows already done by Hanskin. Is gonna manage to get the pull off. They're playing the top lane much better than they did in the previous game.
And not leaving any sort of opportunity for Aster to catch Nico Baby by surprise.
Do you think these teams are memeing? Because like every single time we see Davion, there's almost always Luna against him.
There is actually. I mean, they are two popular heroes, but you know, I'd like to think that everyone has, of course, watched the anime and is keeping it thematic.
I want to see Luna buy 6 Lotuses. Just for the memes. Not gonna happen. Not gonna have that much farm, but one can only dream. Queen of Pain actually bullied out of the lane. She's level 4.
Very tough.
Already forced to go back. Dragon Knight, aka Davion, will be level 5. Has a bottle. Something that we usually don't see on the Dragon Knights. Most of the time it's just, you know, Magic Wand. Unfortunately, he will not be able to get that regeneration rune, but at least Tusk will pick it up.
definitely be a sort of tough game for White Album to get the momentum going when he's having this bit of a slow start against Limbs in the mid. He's already going to be a bit down on the levels when he does hit that 6, and Limbs very much going to start beating down onto ASTER's tier 1 in the mid lane. It could be tricky for White Album to make those early moves this time.
I like how Valve updated, you know, people were complaining on Reddit that Davion was not showing off when you type it in, when you're choosing the heroes, and we had a patch. I really like that. Like, he stonks are on the rise, for sure. Like, you need to invest in Davion coin.
FNG, it's like a pretty dead hit. And so we get the snowball off onto Lanham. Lanham's got stick charges. So he won't go down. FNG will.
This is the same move that Med made in the previous game. Like 5 minutes in, go for the rune. He left the Mars alone. Get him the solo XP. XXS has decent amount of farm, has a bottle, has 11 magic wand charges, and once again going straight in for the blink dagger.
We're going to see that pressure from Limb now in the mid. Since 6, whilst White Album still trying to work his way through the 5. Start really pressuring this tower. We'll see if has to bring over anyone to try and push back the TK, but it's going to be tough. FNG hiding as well in the tree line, maybe ready to make a move if has to do try and step forward.
Bottle refill from Lanham. White Album still not level 6.
He's going to get caught out. Might have stunned the snowball. Connects, but not enough lockdown. Still able to make it away. Alliance, though, really forcing reactions around this mid lane as Matt also has a back to head over.
Invisibility. Everyone just refilling the bottle for their mid laners.
I mean, they just know that White Album's having a really tough time here. Trying to solve that a little bit for him.
He's catching up. Arena. But nothing happens. We'll pretend that it didn't happen. It was a tough kill to get. You know, you're level 6 Mars. You don't have your spells maxed out. Beaver is 6. Once again, it's going to be around like 7-minute Maelstrom on the Weaver. Juggernaut, Monet, he just loves to farm. He loves to hit the creeps. Going for that Battle Fury.
FNG is getting very aggressive here onto Lanham. They do have the wall down from S4. Illusions out. They turn. The Sonic Wave will finish off the Tusk. Lanham is going to be able to live. Not enough damage coming out from the wall illusions yet at this stage of the game.
Alliance with the 3 observer wards, just connecting. They see both runes, they see a bit of a jungle. This is something that the Team Liquid also loves to have. Sometimes even put down the 4th ward to see the enemy triangle, see if there are any stacks, possibly invade them.
Move faster.
Monet. Opening out towards Monet, but Monet and the Blades just hurry up. It's not any sort of threat against these two, the Tusk and the Darks here. They can't do too much about. Nice job getting away every single time.
Pretty much the same timing, you know. Hanskin has been stacking. It's a huge stack, so Nico Baby has the swarm ready to clear it a bit easily. So once again, they will not be able to contest the stack. Top lane completely free farm for the XXS. He's in, he's pinging it out, he knows. But it's gonna be a bit too late.
Yeah. They're going to have this already cleaned up. Nico Baby, he is low though. But yeah, not going to take any chances and caught by XXS here by the looks of it. Oh, okay, XXS, he is able to catch it. He gets both of them. All right, I mean, they may have farmed the stacks, but XXS able to farm their lives. All right, easy kills for the Mars.
Mars, suddenly top 1 on the net worth. Level 8.
And they're going to be able to take this stack, or maybe have a bit of a poke at it. I guess actually no. White Album, can he do this on his own? A few screens will take some of them.
He's just farming the items. He found Faded Brooch. Now, not too bad. Move speed and the mana is always going to be good.
He's going to get it.
Fairy's Trinket.
Yeah, so that is a decent amount of the jungle that Alliance did prepare, taken away by White Album sticking around.
I like how he leaves the golems, does not want to take everything.
Gotta watch out for XXS. Getting a little punish for the greed there in their jungle, you know, wanting to stick around as low HP as they were, to just be as efficient as they can with the clearing of the camps. XXS just perfectly punishing it, getting a huge push up there in golden XP.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's gonna be such a good timing on the Blink Dagger on Mars. He actually decided to go for the phase boots a bit early, which is kind of a standard on Mars. You want to have that movement speed, you want to have that extra damage for the God's Rebuke. He upgraded phase boots last game around like 18-20 minute mark, which was kind of weird. Phoenix collecting some XP on the bottom, only level 4. 10 minutes in, we'll need to buy the Tome. Lanham also level 5, like the supports are a bit under-leveled on side of ASTER.
And we have an Alliance diving in. I mean, this is going to be responded to straight away with the double TPs coming in. The surge coming to an end. White Album going to try and chase down S4. Mad's diving in. Won't commit on him though. Or just the cloak still a little too tanky for them to deal with.
Radiant's middle tower is under
attack. Have ample time to be able to surge away once more. White Album is continuing to chase. Got him up first. Sonic Wave into
He got him.
Oh, very well done there by the Quad.
Radiant structures.
I mean, that was close, but he knew he'd done the numbers. He knew he had enough with the pure damage of the Sonic Wave to do it. And he does. Same time, top lane, Nico Baby will manage to find Lanham.
That's just so much damage, man. The Maelstrom proc, the second Geminate attack on top of that. Going for the same item build once again. SNY, some status resistance, some tankiness. Really like that build. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, Limp will take it down with the catapult and the dragon form. We can call that Davion form, right?
Can now. Doing his job. Blink Dagger's done. The tower taken, the map's opened up for Limp to start getting involved in some of these side lane plays that they want to be doing. Again, as we said last game with this Weaver Alliance, they're going to want to play aggressive. They don't want to give ASTER the chance to put them away. Monet with the Battle Fury, and he's working towards, if he gets that and can continue to play this sort of game,
Dire's top tower
it stands a very high chance of just going the same way that the game wanted, with Monet being able to slowly take over.
Radiant's bottom
He's farming that Battle Fury. Just wants to be able to hit some creeps, but you know, will join a team fight. It's not like he's playing a Monkey King. Could be a bit more active with the Juggernaut, join a fight, use the Omni Slash. Bottom lane, Mad will go down. A bit of a different game for Mad this time around. Not as leveled as he was in the previous game, not as farmed.
Dire's structures
also
are
build on
fortified.
Lanham. I've seen like most of the Chinese position 5 Lunas not even getting boots at all. Like just having a capital Dragonlance, because Luna's base movement speed is pretty high. So you invest in different items. Buy a magic wand, buy possibly like a raindrop. We'll get level 6 after this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just needs one creep, no creeps around.
White Album has the Orchid done. Ready for those players to try and catch Nico Baby.
It's a good timing on the Orchid. One deep observer ward placed by Alliance near the tier 2 tower. So this could potentially catch the smoke. Bottom lane, ASTER.
And they've got him. The jump set from XXS, they pop the Supernova down. They need every bit of damage they can get against this Darkseer with the hood.
We can see a different build from XXS this time around. Going for the Yult Sector, real mid.
Sonic Wave is going to be able to push the 4 at the back, and that's going to allow White Album to beat Link out of there. They're going to try and chase on a little bit towards Lanham, but Monet's up on the high ground. And he's ready to help out if Alliance do continue to charge in them. They're not
Come on,
going to.
Luna, kill one creep. We'll get you to level 6. There we go.
Quick reactions there from White Album. No, Limp jumps in instantly with the Orchid silence, stops.
Nah, he was so ready for that.
Dragon Tail.
Smoke? Yeah, I believe that was caught by Alliance. I talked about this ward, which is kind of non-standard ward. You don't expect them to have this deep ward 14 minutes in. They should know something is up. White Album, he jumped in.
He's ready to start the action off, but he's been straight into the wall. The vacuum drags it back in. XXS attempting to push them all over the God's Rebuke, but FNG's in with the uppercut. They'll get the two.
A good block. FNG got him.
Oh, and he's able to put a stop to the CP as well, rolling in with a snowball. ASTER falling straight into the trap of Alliance there. You said Alliance just with the better map info. They were prepared, and ASTER, they went for a very sort of aggressive blink there from White Album. I don't know what he expected. Maybe he felt that there would be nowhere near at all. He maybe wanted to try and bait something, didn't expect as many of them to be there, but ends disastrously for ASTER. They lose 3.
Wards don't deal damage, but they give you an upper hand to position yourself to deal more damage. Dragonite going for BKB after that, after picking up the Blink Dagger. I talked about XXS item build, trying to get the Yule Scepter, which I really like. You need to have a Dispel against Surge, against the Ion Shell. It's also a great setup for your Spear. Bottom lane, Nico Baby and Hanskin just pushing in.
Got it.
Alliance.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Picking up the lead a little bit.
Dire's middle tower is under
They can't keep that pressure on. But for now, ASTER taking their turn to move in on the mid lane. Ult's available. Got the team fight good to go. So Alliance have to be really prepared to try and come in with some sort of a defense already. XXS is making the jump. The arena's out.
Good Stonehold save.
Gonna buy some time for them. The Omnisat is coming in. Not enough bounces over towards Mid though. So Blink still has the head back. White Album stopped the lead up though. Blinks in aggressively towards the back line. Finds it. And by the looks of it, we'll get FNG as well. The Shadow Strike out upon him. White Album jumps back across. Gets the kill. Got Nico being brought in by Hanskin to try and find something in return. But the two of them against 5.
The silence.
Down Nico Baby, he's got to be careful. He will find XXS. The Soulburn brings him down. He's able to get the time up Soul. Nico Baby getting a good clean up. As he takes down 2, he'll be able to find a 3rd as he sweeps around to pick up Mad.
This build on Fever that Nico Baby went for 2 times in a row, actually, like, it gives you the tankiness, it gives you a bit of a status resistance against the stuns, against the silences, and once again, barely escapes. We've seen that so many times in game number 1. Also, they need to focus IO. If they can like lock down IO, throw a couple of spells on him, they're a bit, if Mars is dead, they're a bit limited with the stuns. Now, Luna is not going to be as impactful as Enigma was in the previous game, so like there's a lot of difference. There's so little that Lanham can do, you know, as position 5 Luna. You can use that Lucid Beam, you can use Eclipse, but that's it. Like, you're not dealing any right-click damage. There is not the same threat coming up from position 5 this time around.
No. Well, we definitely sort of saw from ASTER once they've blown the ultimates, and the fact that Hanskin and Nico Baby knew that they could go back in against the 5 of them with just the 2 of themselves alive. It shows a great sort of read of the game by them. And that they know that if they just play around those timings, Nico Baby's going to have the ability to freely move around the fight and find the kills.
Not enough lockdown for Beaver. No, just Mars. This Orchid is not gonna do that much, especially once Nico Baby finishes the BKB, and he's getting there. You know, needs around 2-3 minutes to finish it.
invisibility.
ASTER. Trying to catch Alliance down around the bottom lane, but Alliance then up.
Dire locked down.
They're trying to hold for this tower. So ASTER unable to take the objective.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Will be the some wide goal pretty much done here for Monet.
Dire's bottom tower is under
attack.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Caught out again here. Alliance able to make these moves with the jump, the catch that they do have. So with this Blink Dragon
Radiant's top tower is under
no
attack.
struggles getting the setup to
Excuse me, sir, what did you just call him?
Davion.
There we go. So Alliance will be able to take Tier 1 tower on top. There's not going to be any defense.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's a possibility that Alliance, they get 1 or 2 kills. Could potentially transition that into Roche. They have enough damage with the tag team, with Weaver. They could also like try to go in with 3 heroes. I think they have enough damage, but if you use the Swarm, if there's a ward around the Roche pit, could potentially scout it out, but they definitely do have enough damage. BKB getting very close for Weaver.
Top lane FNG. Try and set up onto Y out, but the shards out is sort of trapping him. So the illusions, he's out to the side though, quick for silence as well onto. First of all, make sure that there's no chance for a vacuum to hold him back. Just now have that axe complete, so now the effectiveness of these iron shells is going to be through the roof. See, that's will start to get very rich. Yeah, Speedy's going to be able to push waves out. And then, going to jump onto Lin himself. He's not going to get him. Hansket and Nico Baby will come across, but it's straight into the arena. Hansket's gone. Supernova's going to be successful. Nico Baby, what can he find in time? Get one of the kills against Adam. Has to back off though, avoid the jump of the stun of the Supernova.
A golden thread.
And their team fight is still much better. After I saw the draft, you know, they don't have anything to combine the Darkseer wall with and make him. Like, they don't have anything to keep them in the wall. Darkseer will go down, has that Aghanim Scepter. Like, he's also one of the few heroes that can hold the Philosopher's Stone. Besides, like, Zeus, Tinkers, some of the mid laners can also hold it. But yeah, Aghanim Scepter gives 2 charges and a bit of a HP. 350. That's a bit. It's actually quite a lot.
Yeah, it's going to make all the difference against a lineup that has such heroes like the Queen of Pain, the Luna, the Luna try and burst down targets. You lay that down on your Weaver, and already Nico Baby with the stats of the S&Y and the BKB. It's going to be quite a tanky hero. It's very hard for them to sort of lock him down long enough to take him 100-0 before he can get into the BKB or time up zone.
Monet finishes the shard on Juggernaut. It's one of the better shards. Like, it's because it scales when you get the items. It's so good. And going for the Aghanim Scepter to be able to like deal more damage, use that mini slash more often.
Lions. I'm gonna try and go for a move whilst Supernova and Sonic Wave are down. Good move at this point, could set them up for Roshan.
Oh, nice reactions. Like, you have to be extremely fast to do this. You need to be, like, pre-casting it. You need to have a quick cast as well, otherwise it's not happening. This is what I talk about, them getting inside the road pit, have a ton of damage, that they will not be able to get there in time. Like, the minus armor, the deck team is just too much.
It really is. They did too quick. ASTER. Despite being by the attention, they couldn't get there in time. That one is going to get jumped out. The guy's down the arena down. Extra combo spin. They take down the Darkseer. The Supernova arena combo. They understand. They can't slip off the side of the snowball fight. Sometimes it's not enough. The Supernova's not still connected. They come out of the snowball. 3 dead on Alliance. So they can get Nico Baby on the way down to the town. XXS.
But the relocate gets him out. Yeah, I mean, Io will pay still with his life. They did not lose the Aegis. A good move from Nico Baby. He TPs to the outpost for the possible tether, but there is the silence. Like, they tried. You know, Bro got him out. You gotta help the Bro out to possibly get him out. Didn't happen, but White Alpha, man, he loves Witchblade before. Like, he's going Witchblade as a 3rd item.
That's a lot of damage.
It is.
A lot of damage.
A lot of overtime damage combined with the Shadow Strike on top of that. Problem is they have, like, no abilities that go through magic immunity. Juggernaut's not that afraid of a Walrus Punch. I'm thinking about more like a Roar type of ability, Black Hole.
Yeah, and we saw sort of a good effort from FNG there to try and counteract the stun from the Supernova, time that snowball, but unfortunately didn't have the distance of travel with it to keep them in it long enough before that stun went off, as Mad able to pretty much catch all 3 of them with the explosion of his ultimate.
A lot of sustain in the team fights from ASTER. You know, you have this Spirit Vessel so they can reset. You have the Sunray, also Healing Ward coming up from the Juggernaut. He's very close to finishing off his Aghanim Scepter, so that's going to help out quite a lot.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Despite the rough
under
team
attack.
fight, just having that Aegis, they can get back to business.
Radiant structures
Taking these objectives. It's tier 2 won't be defended by ASTER. ASTER just using this time to continue to make space, find areas of the map and Monet to be safe in. As the Aghanims just 500 gold make the jug.
Dyer's top
Also hit that big level 20 talent. So throughout these Blade Furies, not only dealing some.
Oh, he's not taking the +8 armor talent?
Dyer's
Very
top tower
weird,
is
just
under
kidding,
attack.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, no.
Because Juggernaut already has like 21 armor, has 6 extra.
You want the damage.
You want the damage for sure.
Here you go, baby. Going in onto Mad. If he can change for more, that damage with the Blade Fury, bring him down low. Nico Baby's going. It's very aggressive, but he missed spin. Oh, he couldn't get the time lapse up in time. XXS able to catch him. They take him down once. Do it a second time, the Omni Stack's coming out. Monet's going to get jumped out to the side.
That's the real Omni.
The real deal. That's the big arm. Looking down low. The Sunray burning through the more than 4 down S1. They've taken out FNG and up to the high ground. They're running down Limp. He's going to be able to get out of it. He's going to blink up in a few seconds, but they can keep the damage on him. Jumping in, they take down Limp as well. An excellent start. Once again, XXS, setting up that fight in the way. We had this aggression from Nico Baby, trying to push the edges to its limits, but he's caught out. They take him down quickly underneath the tower. They're ready to do it a second time as well, or at least, take the team fight a second time. Nico Baby may get out, but it costs him 3 of his teammates' lives.
They just don't have enough lockdown. Juggernaut can pretty much do whatever he wants in the team fight. The Nico Baby overextending a bit. They might be able to kill him.
Hang on, he's in trouble. He's got to be careful here. We'll manage to get the BKB and the time lapse off. He's going to turn towards Lanham, and it's going to be enough to push back ASTER. XXS will TP out. It's just Lanham going down for now. Mad trying to dive away. Nico Baby and Hanskin attempting to chase with an instant TP on the high ground. Mad makes it out of there.
He needs to be careful. He is tanky, has some status resistance on the Fever, but one good spear. XXS has been playing amazing throughout this whole series.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Phoenix Mars duo that they're getting their hands on is looking very, very impressive. And sort of likewise to the last game, right? In these fights, as you said, Nico Baby, a lot of pressure on him. If he dies, you're never really going to see a situation where the rest of the 4 heroes are cleaning up the fight, right?
Yeah.
They need that Weaver to do the damage. Getting gone upon. He's able to get the arena off. And with the 3 of them trapped, can Aston do anything to about this? They can, they're over the switch side. They take out FNG. Monet moving in with the Blade Fury. Gotta be careful, alright? They've got the back of the best ball. Drop down the wall, Mad. Diving in, the supernova down. Exit the spin. Then Nico Baby straight away from the rest of his team. Doesn't clip onto anything though, so still manages to get out with the Shikuchi. The chase will continue. Onto the side, Nico Baby maybe thinking about going back in on this. Got the setup onto Linton. He's gonna be silenced by the Orchid. Damage with the Blade Fury rips him apart.
Yeah, that damage coming up from Battle Fury is actually insane, especially with the level 20 down. Another good spear. Excellent spear. Wow. But they can't kill it. They're a bit limited on the lockdown as well. They need the Orchid to follow it up.
Middle tower is under attack.
I mean, XXS, he really does have Nico Baby's number. He's got to be so careful on this Weaver.
Juggernaut still has that Omni Slash ready going into the Abyssal Blade.
He got him again. They don't have to follow. They've got a lot of damage though. Don't force him to time lapse.
Beyond this proc.
Gonna have Monet making his way over. Success. Has he got anything else to throw out? He's got the blink the arena. He's trapped him. But BKB is available. And then Nico Baby's gonna have to pop it. He's gonna have to pop it. Can't risk anything else coming out from ASTER. But XXS just toying with this Weaver, keeping Nico Baby on his toes.
Yeah, you would expect the hero who has 18,000 net worth not to be afraid of the Mar, but he's just, keeping him very anxious how he's using the abilities, how he's going to use the BKB. Of course, there's always going to be possible save coming out from the Handskin, coming out from the Snowball, but needs to be careful. XXS.
There's going to be an amazing jump in order to Phoenix to make it the battle. Victoria Kevin dive out. he'll live. They'll get the Weaver out of there, but they've lost 2 Alliance. And with the BKB coming to an end, Limp's in trouble. The chase is on. Monet, and the ladder running down. And yet again, ASTER claim another team fight.
Unfortunately for Phoenix, he did not have Eon Disc. Supernova would be ready in a couple of seconds. They had the vision with the bug on, and Dragon Eye just jumps in, finishes him off. White Album needs to also be a bit careful. What's with the brown boots? Like, Queen of Fame has brown boots as well. 30 minutes in, going into AC. I like AC, you know, a lot of their damage is physical, but could potentially, you know, give them AC if you get vacant inside the wall.
Radiant's courier was caught in the crossfire.
G. He may have got the courier. Can he actually get out with his life? With a spear connection, does he get Nico Baby? Does get FNG though. FNG, he'll burn. Supernova out from the high ground. Nico Baby's got to back away. It's been silent to go with the slash onto Nico Baby. Nico Baby's got to put the talents, but he talents back into the Supernova. Over to the side, S4's taken out of the fight thanks to Handscan. Nico Baby's trying to find the neutral. They've got the pigeon. They jump in, he has to put the BKB and run. He's been dusted. He's on the retreat.
He gets the badge. There it is.
There it is. Look at the movement, Handscan. By his side, keeping Nico Baby safe. ASTER, they're still chasing a little bit though. Monet. Still another swift slash.
No badge, unfortunate for Monet. 7k gold lead for ASTER. Like, their team fight is just like superior. XXS has been playing amazing. Well, maybe I just cursed him.
I think you just cursed him. Or maybe not.
Just BKB TP out, Sunray to keep him alive.
Playing amazing. Nothing bad happening there.
Juggernaut picked up Mindbreaker, so that's gonna help out against Fever. Not bad. No Eon this.
I'll get him, see if they can get more as a Nico Baby. Looking for Monet. So, yeah, too far away. Too far to dive. They know that XXS is going to be back in fighting for. Another save available now. FNG has got the blink, so can sit back and save
really
Nico
far
Baby.
for a position 5. Having a medallion, Falcon Blade, Magic One, now the blink.
XXS starting off the action. They're able to slash on the solid wave as well. Again, hitting all forward. They're pushing them back. Monet picks up the double kill. Nico Baby has hit. They've got to run. They've got to get out of it. There's no fight to be had for Alliance anymore as they have to retreat.
Roshan is up. They can just go inside the pit. There's still double damage for like 20-ish seconds.
Tower is under attack.
Cheese and Aegis. Man, Monet had such a good game. Both of these. I don't think he died. I don't think he died in the previous game. So far in the second game as well, has 0 deaths. We're gonna check.
He died a couple of times.
He died a couple of times.
All right. No, that's still 10-2 and 18 in his first game. And
from Lacoste to Lycoste, you know. Sometimes I love the, you know, debate people with a couple of lies.
Yeah, we don't want the chat to get Lacoste.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
10k lead now. The Aegis on the hands of Monet. The cheese. That as well. The Queen of Pain's White Album. What has Alliance got? A similar situation to last game. Decent farm, good farm on Nico Baby. Not quite able to enable him enough against ASTER's lineup that just built around such a solid foundation of team fight. There's Mars Phoenix.
Yeah, it's their bread and butter, you know. They left them 2 heroes, like what could they potentially pick? They will just go with the same stuff because it worked out nicely in the game number 1. You know, what I was like, why does Sanj give HP regen and lifesteal amplification? Like, makes no sense. Like, look at the item. If you seen the item, what would you say it gives? Like, I would say, you know, a bit of a damage, some stats. Strength, yeah.
But you saw these extra little, wow, extra little bits. I mean, they're pretty big bits.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now to a point that tier 2s aren't really defendable for Alliance. They'll have to let this go down. Gonna come down to base defense again. But, I mean, Alliance themselves, they just don't have any sort of big team fight. Right? There's no sort of combo. There's no wombo. You have, as you said at the start, you got a vacuum, but there's nothing. Exactly. There's nothing that's anywhere near as threatening as that of ASTER.
Like even if you blink, fake you into like swarm, 5-man snowball, your 5-man into their 5-man snowball.
Coming out with the Smoke Alliance, but completely off the mark on ASTER's location. As ASTER starting to speak back themselves. The question is if Alliance are actually going to be prepared from ASTER. ASTER coming in like this. Monet will show if Alliance want to try and make it go on him, or if they are going to assume that this is just a bit of a bait.
They'll just go mid. Like they have creep wave approaching. No reason not to. Still 2 minutes left on Aegis. Juggernaut wants to get that blink.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
From Alliance, they've got to do something. They've got to hold it. They might the jump here onto Monet. Heel's coming out with a sun ray. Monet is going to be fine. Still having half HP to work with the healing ward out. It's going to be back up to tip top shortly. As there's the jump, success. He's looking for the opening. He's got the setup. He's going to find the catch on the way. Monet coming with the slash. Esports going to get saved momentarily by the team. He still goes down. It's going to too much. Over the one-hand can go. Catch the blade through from Monet. Rips down. Lift underneath him down. Silence down to Nico, baby. He'll get the timeouts up.
There's the bash.
There. He puts the BKB. He's got to run. He can't stand toe-to-toe with ASTER. As ASTER, they have the 4-5-man alive. Lips brought back. There's no buyback on tier 4. They want to end this game. There's no buyback on FSG.
My man.
Oh, he loves it. Feeling confident here. They look to close up the second game. What can Alliance do to stop them? And another slash comes down. Ultimately, they can even make it back to the fountain. He can't jump over with the abyss on the wall. Nico, baby. Nico Baby will live. They'll have Esports back in 9 seconds, but ASTER looks to continue to close it up as they go back to the tier 4s.
They can just close out this game. Davion does not have a buyback. I believe this game is over. White Alpha.
And the jump again. As XXS, he's got the catch. He's on to ASTER. They're just going to close it up. Alliance, they're throwing everything at them. That they have from the turn. But with the Blade Fury, Monet can just focus through onto the ancient with that action. Take it down.
Great showing from Team ASTER today. You know, they woke up, they had a good breakfast, they were ready for this series.
Well, they really were. You know, EU more like Ehu. You know, both of